Hello and welcome back to the channel. Join me on this glorious day. To my surprise, I really thought this weekend was going to be crap regarding the weather, but got a beautiful blue sky, so that means I can continue doing some more work on Mrs Winn. As you would have saw from the last video, that was the passenger side almost complete. I've got some runs to repair and things like that, but I want the paint to harden off and, you know, weather slightly before I can tackle those issues. So without further ado, I can now get some work done on this driver's side. Now there's not a lot to do in terms of repairs and things like that, but I basically want to get it all up to scratch. So let's nip out front and go and have a look. So my first port of call will be to remove the chrome strip, repair the driver's rusty door, repair this little scab that we've got going on, re-stone chip the sill. I can't remember what I did, but let's have a look. No, I didn't stone chip that, but there's no welding to be done or anything like that, so it's just a case of maybe just get the under seal off there, whatever's on there, I don't know, bring it up to here to match the other side. A little tiny bit of bubbling going on here, nothing serious. Obviously some new stone chip under here. Clean that up and put the flat back on, and then it's just a case of rub it down and give the bottom half of the doors a tarting up with some paint. Obviously a dress under here as well, so maybe cut these old screws out from the old mud flaps that were. That's about it. There's not really a lot to do, so hopefully if I can plough on and not waffle too much. I know we like a bit of waffle, especially the bird's eye ones, but hopefully I can get most of this done today. Looking at how the weather is looking, I mean it's early morning at the moment, so I need to get all the rain off because it did rain last night, so get the car dried off. And yeah, hopefully let's get cracking. So first things first, drill out the rivets, get rid of that trim, get rid of the rubber strip that holds a lot of water, and then we'll take it from there. Well, that's the trim removed. All these trims is just pop riveted on, and as you can see, some water has already gotten behind this rubber trim, and it just holds a little bit there where it's riveted, and then obviously the water has got nowhere to go. Although you know it should drain away, but it doesn't. Yeah, and that's basically what rots out these sills, especially where they are pop riveted on. So although this sill has always been a good one, I don't need to worry too much about that. All I need to do is just fetch off that under seal there. It's nice and smooth anyway, so it shouldn't take too much to remove. But if it's good enough, it's not flaky, I could probably go straight over the top with the stone chip anyway. So all good there. So before I continue any further, just want to draw your attention to a comment I made in the last video regarding removing runs from paintwork. And although I'm going to be rubbing this door down anyway, I've just found that there was an old run in the paint. Now obviously this paint on this door is probably now 15 years old, and I was going to show you how I go about removing runs. So basically you take a brand new sharp Stanley blade, you hold it level and just scrape, and you actually just shave that run away. Now obviously I'm not too worried about scratches at the moment. Ideally what you'd do as well is probably just take some sandpaper to the very tips, so that you're not leaving these gouges like I am at the moment, or scratches should I say. Basically that's what you do, you shave the run away. And as you can see, it's removing paint. Yes, I'm scratching the paint, I'm not worried at the moment, but I'll quickly show just how you now get rid of everything there. And just feel it, I can feel it dragging a little bit over the top of the run. So it's one of these things that you don't panic when you get a run, because you can always get rid of it later on. So that is still shaving paint away on that high spot. A mess, you might say. Right, hang the fire just a touch. So now to put that right, some wet and dry 2000 grit. Normally I would spend a little bit more time to perfect this, but obviously I'm not too worried about this because this door's going to be resprayed anyway. It was just that I found it while I was doing this, and I thought, oh, now's my chance to just explain what I'm going to do with the passenger side on a couple of runs that I have got. So I apologise for the camera shaking. There we go, no run. So now that's going to go dull, so just get my sleeve on that just to show you. The run is just slightly evident there, but it's not as bad as what it were. Yeah, I wish I'd have probably just took a before and after on that. But now obviously all I'll do now is get the teacup or rubbing compound on that bit there, polish that back up, and you'd never know. So it's just a little tip, you know, trick of the trade, how we get rid of things. I mean, that run is barely visible. So really, along here there's just one major repair, which is the bottom of the door here. As you can see, I've already cut the metal out, so it's just a case of me now cutting a square piece of metal, welding it in, finishing it off and ready for paint. This little scab at the front of the door here was absolutely nothing. Obviously a little bit of water has gotten behind the paint and blistered out, but it's not gone through. It's nice, so I can just treat that, not worry about that at all. This one, I've cut it right back to the frame. Just need to tidy it up a little bit, put some rust treater in there, get rid of that. Back of the door, again, just a tiny little scab, and I've just gone into the, maybe it was filled a long time ago, but it's all nice and solid, so I'm not going to worry too much about that. Again, I'll just linish that back a little bit more and treat it. Everything else seems to be okay. Yeah, basically just a little bit of blistered paint here and there, so not too much to worry about at all, which I'm quite pleased about. So right, I'll get my welder out, let's get this welded in. And then it'll be a case of get these doors rubbed down and get them painted. So that's that. A metal cut to shape, held in place there with a magnet. So all that's left for me to do now is dress that up, get it welded in, and there we go. That's the fuel filler flap back on. All these areas here now have been treated with some rust treatment. That's my metal in and all sorted. That's it, all that's treated as well. So I can now go ahead and rub the paint down. Obviously get the detail sander on these little bits here where I've ground paint away, and just to smooth them out exactly the same as I did on the passenger side, and then basically Scotch Brite the bottom of the doors. I'll polish the tops of the doors basically and get these waxed, because I don't want no paint getting on them, and if it's polished and waxed the paint won't stick. And if it does get behind the masking, there's a better chance of getting it all off. Not sure if I need to remove the bumper. I can mask it up like I did the other side. Yeah, maybe, I don't know. We'll see how things go. Obviously now I'm not rushing, but I'm just speeding ahead while I've got the weather, because you know we are into autumn now, and the weather is turning a little bit crap sometimes. So it's a case of picking me days and really just getting ahead and getting on with it. So yeah, let's get a rub down. Let's get some. Yeah, I'll get the compressor out now. Get that rub down. Get the stone chip on the bottom, and then we can just plough ahead, rub it down, get the gloss on. Sorry folks, went a little bit ahead of myself. I'll say I've masked up bottoms of the doors, and I've applied the stone chip to the sill and part way up the rear arch, somewhere there-ish. So it's just a case now waiting for that to dry. Then I can remove all the masking, which I'll do before it actually sets, because I always like to remove any masking tape before the paint dries, because I always worry about peeling it all back off. So before that dries too much, I'm going to remove the masking there, and then I can mix up. No, I'm getting ahead of myself again. Then I can start rubbing the doors down and get it ready for paint. So yeah, there's not really much to show you at the moment, only progress, because everything has been documented more so on the other side because of how things went. But yeah, this video really is basically me doing this side and just flying through it. Luckily I've got the weather and a full day on it, so yeah, we're looking good. We are masked up, ready to go again. So I'll go and mix my paint up now, and we'll get some Brune put on it. Done a couple of little repairs here and there that I've noticed that weren't quite satisfactory. So, and also I think I've decided that I'll be putting back on the chrome wheel arch trims. I deleted them many moons ago, filled up the holes, welded them up, because at the time I suppose I did like the look of them without the chrome trim. However, I've kind of changed my mind a bit now, and I've been thinking about it for quite a while. So I think that's what I'll be doing as well in another video, is putting those back on. Now originally those had holes drilled in the wheel arch, and you riveted on like a button, and then the trim clipped onto it. Again, that was a water trap for them, so I think I'll be doing the same as I have done with the C-pillar trims, is that I'll actually bond them on and seal the outsides of them so no water can get in there, so there'll be no holes drilled to fit them back on. And I'll probably just use something like Tiger Seal or something like that. You might notice a little bit of a shadow on that wing there. It does stick out slightly, and that was because many moons ago, I think the wife come back from shopping when the car was parked out there on the drive, and when she swung in my Rover 800, she went a little bit close and completely destroyed this wing, and obviously they're not available, so I had to make do and mend as best as I can. But basically the wheel arch was back here somewhere, so it was a complete mess. So that shadow does stick out a little bit, but I'm not prepared to mess with this wing anymore. It's a little bit delicate, shall we say. So right, I've Scotch brighted bottom of the doors there, and basically now I think I'm ready to go. So let's get some paint mixed up and see what happens. So there we have it. She is all brown again, I could have done with going a little bit thicker and heavier with my paint. However, I didn't really want to get any runs, so it's, you know, I'm no expert, I don't pretend to be, and I never claim to be, so I'm just going with the flow as per usual. So yeah, there is a, it could do with, obviously it's going to need to be buffed up, but obviously I need to let this paint settle, and then I can maybe give it a rub down with some 2000 grit, wet and dry, and polish it back up, which was my intention anyway. But I noticed I did go thicker on the paint on the other side. That gave me a better finish, but it also gave me some runs because I wasn't being careful. But anyway, she's brown again. Oh, I need to take my masking off there. Obviously I didn't take the bumper off, didn't see the point really, because I weren't going that far up with it. But yeah, she's starting to get there now. Also what I did as well while I'm at it, I did just use up a little bit what was in my gun to see how this match was going to look on the wing. So obviously I've gone a little bit over on the overspray here, and the match isn't going to be too bad at all. Obviously the bonnet being the bigger panel, I'm going to raise the bonnet up so it's more or less level, so I can get a really good coat of paint on that. But also I just need to lose the new paint on this edge of the wing here, basically just so it hasn't got a defined line of new paint and old paint, because I don't really want to, you know, respray the wings, tops of the doors if I don't need to. So if I can just get away with it, of just blending it in along the top of those wings, that is what I will do. Yeah, it's the same as I've kind of stopped spraying around here, because I didn't want to end up doing a full respray, because there was really no point. The match is pretty good, albeit slightly different, but that is of course because it's new paint. I can just see a line there where I've stopped, but that is the narrowest point, and that was where I wanted to lose it. But obviously once that's polished up, probably won't notice too much. So just got to tidy up then, and we'll put it to bed. Obviously I've got my chrome trim to refit, black the sills, same as I've got to do the other side, but I've been on this all day, so I've had a good 6 hours on it really, and I'm really impressed with how it's turning out. So just to give you a little preview of the chrome trims clamped on, obviously I ain't going to leave it like that, but what do you reckon then? Shall I put these back on or leave them off? Now you know what I'm like for putting votes out, so I've got a feeling you guys are going to say leave them on or put them back on, and I'm going to say yeah, or you're going to say nah, leave them off, and I'm going to put them back on. Right, I will leave this one up to you. Personally I think I should put them back on, because once that chrome trim's on there, I think it'll really enhance them wheel arches. So we've got boring no trim, and we've got real nice with trim. What do you reckon then, folks? And there we have the chrome trim back on, and the sill gloss blacked, and also I've gone right the way up and done a faux wheel arch spat. They used to have a plastic one on there, which was again another water trap for the Princess, and yeah, they used to rot out from behind there, so we've done a faux one. So that's all for today. I think I've had a fantastic day. Probably had about 8 hours on the car on and off on this side. but I'm so glad to have got as much done as I have. So proper steamrolling ahead. So of course I've got my tyres to clean up as I did on the other side. I've got my sill to black out on the other side, and obviously then once this paint has settled for a few weeks, I can actually rub it back down and polish it. But yeah, what a fantastic day. I've really enjoyed today, and the weather is still pretty good, but I am knackered now and I stink and I need a wash. But there she is, Mrs Winn, getting there slowly but surely. So I hope you'll join me for the next video, where I will be tackling the bonnet and getting that flatted back, get all the as much as the old paint off as I can, to some nice smooth primer with a bit of luck. Who knows? I mean, obviously if I don't break through the primer to bare metal, there is no need to put any primer on there at all. So hopefully we can get that linish back and get the bonnet sprayed up, and paint wise hopefully then that will be it. It'll just be a case of tarting the old girl up and polishing her up and all that kind of thing, and then I will be getting underneath yet again, and we'll get all that old cruddy stone chip off. The welder might have to come out again, we never know. It is a Leyland after all, what do you expect? Yeah, so it'll just be a case of getting underneath, getting all the old stone chip on and putting some more on there, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we're not far off going out for a drive properly, legally. I want to take her out for a couple of, you know, rides out just to make sure she is okay, and we'll be putting on an MOT, even though she don't need it. She's been off the road 10 years, so I think best be safe, cast another pair of eyes over the car, and hopefully she'll go through an MOT. But that is in the weeks to come, many videos to come before that, but fingers crossed, before the end of this year she will be going out for a drive. Who knows? Right, thank you all very much for staying tuned, and you know, all the comments and the likes and everything, and the support to actually keep going with Mrs Winn, because yeah, it's been pretty tough sometimes when I've, you know, finished work and whatnot, and I've actually just wanted to just pack up and go home, but we're getting there. So thank you all very much for staying tuned. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and as usual, take care of yourselves and each other. Ta-ta now.